From the center of the galaxy, this is ForceCenter, a show, a feed, a lifestyle about Star Wars, pop culture, the ultimate adventure, ranking things in Star Wars. This is Star Wars Ranked. I'm Ken Knapsack, and these fine folks, you know, Joseph Scripture, Jennifer Landa. We are here to rank vehicles and ships in Rogue One and Solo, a Star Wars story. Been doing this vehicle series, a lot of fun, and each episode seems to create an idea for a new episode. But Joseph, this was one you really wanted to do, and we're going to do it. I want to do it. What draws you to this idea on these two movies together?
Yeah, well, it's been fun to look at the trilogies because the trilogies are so spaced out in time in the galaxy and in time in the real world. So that's such a factor of what was going on in George Lucas's head. What was the goal of the sequel trilogy with its nostalgia, and how did that affect its design? And then when we're talking about the sequel trilogy, I kept having those, but I got to talk about, oh no, that's not in the sequel trilogy. That's in those two films that were made around the same time. So some of the same design challenges, some of the same design ethos, some of the same actual designers, but entirely different goals. And I think just some of our favorite and lots of fans' favorite vehicles are in these two movies.
They are indeed, and I agree with you. There's this weird time period, especially 2016 Rogue One, coming out of Force Awakens, which we discussed. Great vehicles, things we love, but also, hey, we had the TIE Fighters with the X-Wings, and then Rogue One was almost the first to be like, hey, here's a bunch of new stuff. However, it's in the days and the week before a movie you absolutely love, so it has to kind of fit in that little category. Jen, do you have struggles going in? Too many choices, too little choices? The audience needs to know where your choices are at today.
They're currently at more Solo. I have both a visual dictionary of Rogue One and Solo,
Nice.
and I just found myself getting excited looking at the vehicles from Solo more so than Rogue One, and I don't know what that's about. Maybe because it is very, like you're saying, there's a lot of similarities between those vehicles and what we get in the original trilogy. I don't know. Maybe it's that Rogue Solo is a much more fun movie, right? It's a little bit more, I don't want to say lighthearted because there's a lot of drama to it, but it's more of a fun romp as opposed to Rogue One, which always bums me out at the end. So yeah.
It
That's
might
where
bum
I'm
you
at.
out even more after Andor Season 2.
Oh my gosh, right?
Finally, Rogue One's ending will be a bummer. Finally,
Yeah.
thank you, Tony Gilroy.
Finally, we'll have
did
a
it.
new understanding on the depths of our sorrow at the end of
Yes.
Rogue One. But also hope. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. There's
All right, sorry, I never thought about those. Tony Gilroy keeps saying you'll interpret lines differently. What if it's like all of K2SO's jokes are now actually very sad because we learn new information? Like
yes,
the thing that was joyful about Rogue One, we'll take it.
Take it all.
last bit of humor has been taken back. Absolutely. But Jen, I'm with you. More on my possible solo list, but Rogue One's got some doozies. And as always, I'll say up top, we leave it open to ships that are in these movies that appear in other movies. If they've worked for you in this movie, great. The capital ship debate. We're probably going to do a capital ship episode. What defines that maybe is even up for debate. We don't like to get into the weeds on that. We just kind of go with our heart. And unless Joseph and Jennifer want to do it, I have no hard, fast rules here today for us, but Death Star's not a vehicle. It's a big moon. That's no moon.
Yeah, I would argue that it does count for a vehicle, but it's not on my list. There are too many other selections.
Yeah. Spiritually,
Yeah.
not a vehicle for me, but you all go where you want to go.
Yeah.
All right. Jen, are you ready? You're not going
I'm
first.
ready.
Joseph's going first.
Okay.
Oh, am I?
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't establish this before. It's been quite a day. Been quite a week. But yeah, Joseph first, Jen second, and then I'll come in here with the eighth pick. Jen, if you go first, that's 4 picks, and I just don't want to stress you out. There's some actual concern about how we stress you out with some of these picks,
I made a long list because I'm not going through what happened last time.
Running out of choices.
Running out of choices, having to pick something totally ridiculous. I got some solid choices this time.
Hey,
don't take them.
No, you got some Space Taxi fans. Don't worry. You're good. You're good. Joseph, on that note, though, we're going to begin with our number 10 selection, working to one with your first choice.
Okay, I'm going to go to Rogue One. I have about the same amount from Rogue One and Solo, but I think Rogue One is just a triumph of design, and is I think a lot of the same people worked on it as certainly worked on the sequel trilogy. So I want to give some props to Gareth Edwards. I think there's something different to me in the mix in Rogue One. It's not just the vehicles; it's the shore troopers. It's
Mhm.
K2SO. Like there's so much amazing design in Rogue One, and sure it's not the same as Lucas coming through with his marker. But I wonder how much Gareth Edwards has had a real good sense of design uh, for this film starting out. So I want to give that props to Rogue One. This should maybe be higher on the list, but I could not bear it if it were not on the list because it's one of my favorite Star Wars vehicles. Or a reason I wanted to do this episode. And it is when they looked at a TIE fighter and said, hey, but what would a TIE fighter look like if Dracula turned into it? And they
Yeah.
made the TIE Striker. Uh, perhaps
Here comes
my
the
favorite
TIE
iteration
striker.
of
It's
different designs on
mm-hmm.
the TIE fighter. They're all great. Childhood connection to TIE Bomber and TIE Interceptor and
Mm-hmm.
TIE Defender and TIE everything. I love it all.
Yeah.
But the TIE Striker, uh, this is the one that does just look like a giant bat. It's taking
Mm-hmm.
the standard wings of the TIE Fighter and putting them up on the top and giving them these aggressive TIE Interceptor points. And then the normal pod of the TIE Fighter is a little bit longer. So it kind of looks like the pill you should take with your morning breakfast, but with bat wings on top of it. I read the descriptions on Wikipedia, and it is primarily also for in environment flight. It can go to space, but it performs better, can move faster in the actual atmosphere, which is an old thing that people used to kvetch about
Mm.
like in the Rogue One games. Like, why are X-wings always flying around in atmospheres? And people wanted more space battles in the sequel trilogy because it's too much flying around the atmosphere. Well, here comes the TIE Striker. It's like, actually, I was born to do this. I'm meant to be in an atmosphere of a planet. So, TIE Striker for me.
Was born to
Hmm.
fly in the clouds. Yeah.
There is something about this that is scary looking. It looks pointy, and like if I had it in toy form and I stepped on it or accidentally like banged up again,
Mm.
it would hurt really
Mm.
badly, which I think is really indicative of what the Empire is, right? um, and you mentioned Dracula. There is something that's kind of like cape-like about it. I can't describe it. Maybe I'm just reading into it where it's just like, this thing where it's like boom with the cape.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's
Mm.
terrifying. Great
I
choice.
should have worn my cape for this.
Yeah, yeah. There's your cape. Yeah, no, great choice. I really have come to love the TIE Striker. I'll explain how I got there, but the design, it looks, looks like a TIE Interceptor got knocked on its side in the shop, and they were like, "But what about that?" And I love the extended cab, so to speak. I love that it's got the tradition of how much can the pilot see on this side, how much is actually there. That's a TIE Fighter tradition, and this would. I don't know if they did this, but one of my favorite GI Joe vehicles I owned as a kid was a mail away glider. They released a GI Joe and a
Ooh.
Cobra hang glider where you put the figure on it and then you could literally just fling this glider and it would fly in your backyard. So great. Made of styrofoam. I stepped on it and broke it. This could be released like that. You could just grab onto the little pit there and just boom, fling this thing
Yeah.
around your backyard.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I love your point. It comes up so much in our vehicle conversations that physics be damned if something looks cool in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And this does look like somebody designed a ship where they're trying to limit visibility from every possible angle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. But I said I come to love it because I think when it was first announced or kind of popped out in the days and weeks leading up to Rogue One, I kind of went like, I don't know, we're just making everything a Tie Fighter now. I don't know, maybe a little grumpy. Then to see it on screen, there's an elegance to it actually. I love watching that
Hmm.
thing flying around. I think it's a great concept, and part of what I love about Rogue One, this might come up again, of just like, yeah, we are days, weeks from the events of A New Hope. We are introducing new things that have to fit in to the world, but also there has to be a bit of an explanation or at least a purpose for shore troopers. Like, why are you suddenly now seeing
Hmm.
beach troopers?
Mm.
Why are they in shorts fighting the fighting the empire, fighting for the empire? And this works for Scarif and everything. I just love it, and it's a wonderful new entry. And what is new becomes classic right away. Great choice to start us off.
Hmm. Oh, thank
Mm.
you.
All
Mhm.
right, Jen. A little pressure on. Good choice,
Yeah.
Striker. Your number 9, or your first, but our number 9 choice.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go to Solo, as I said. It's where
Mhm.
most of my picks are. And it is the Convex.
Yes.
I
Ooh.
love this thing. I even brought some props today. So the thing about the Convex that's funny to me is basically like two trains
Mm.
stacked on top of each other, right? But what's cool is that it goes vroom, 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 like that. Like it could, right?
Wait, I missed it. How Jen? How does it go?
Vroom. We're gonna take it there. I mean, because it really does feel like that's the thing about Solo is so many of the things feel either like toys or someone's just having
Mhm.
fun in the shop, going, "What if we take this and mount it on top of that?" And then it does all these crazy twists and turns, and we have this incredible heist scene, right? Like I just love it. It's from the Empire. So, actually, a lot of my choices here are kind of for, well, let
I
me
love
give
the
it away.
you didn't send it forever like brought to you by the Empire. Battery's not good.
Brought to you by the Empire. It's like a monorail. What else is
I know,
fun?
monorail.
I was watching that this morning. The visual effects of that scene is phenomenal. I don't think it gets enough credit. Like, I
Hmm.
was trying to see, I'm like, okay, this is obviously green screen, but like they have a great wind thing. Tobias and Han, they look like they are on this moving train,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
incredible. Props to the visual effects team.
Hmm.
That's my pick.
Convex was on my list.
Ah,
I love it. I love the range troopers that come pouring on out of it. Really
yes.
enjoy the sequence. Having this train heist in Star Wars works for me on a lot of levels. So many the music in this sequence, everything about it. So the Convex is at the center of that, and well done on the acting that out, Jen. Often, I wish I had more time, folks. I know sometimes we get to the comments. I wish I had more time to edit this and put for the YouTube version and put video or clips over it. Just don't have that time. But we have Jen Landa taking the Convex and showing us how it goes. Yeah,
Well,
and
now
it's
I'm tempted to use this as an excuse to buy the actual toys, and then I
I
can
know,
toys.
right?
zoom, 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 zoom.
Yeah, yeah.
So cool.
You can only share something that you own, then we can flutter them. Anyways, it's a train, and that's one of the things I like about it. It is like a freight train in Star Wars, and it doesn't need to be much more than that. It is part of this world, is part of this built-out universe that we love crawling around in, and that's all I need it to be. And I just think it's one of those great designs. Like, what would that be like in Star Wars? Here you go. Love the Convex.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think the Convex design and the whole train heist is one of the things that makes Solo feel the most like original trilogy ethos
Mm-hmm.
of the films. Because it is that, just like, yeah, it's a western in space. It's a train heist. It's executed so well, and then the actual design of the Convex is a great mix, I think, of references. Like, it's all armored, and it kind of has this sort of like like it's carrying nuclear weapons in real life. Like, it reminds me of some of the design reminds me of, like, if it was painted different, I would believe that train in a James Bond movie of
Hmm.
just an armored train. Except then they like, but wait,
Mm.
it's a train sandwich. And the rails are the
Exactly.
meat.
Plug of wood.
It's just such a like simple Star Wars, like, let's take something totally from the real
Yes.
world
Yes.
and just do
Yes.
something really simple to make it
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fantastic. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Train
Absolutely.
sandwich.
Trains. little, little pepper, little seasoning. You got yourself a train sandwich.
Little range trooper, you got yourself a train sandwich.
Just two adults getting their train sandwich on. All right. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. We're rolling here like a train. We are up to the number 8 overall pick, my first, and gosh, I think we're kind of keeping it in the same world of hey, this is just a functional vehicle, but it becomes part of a bigger set piece. I got to start with the AT-ACT, if you want, the
Ooh.
AT-ACT. This is the all-terrain armored cargo transport. I want to make sure that C is correct. Yes. Um, Yeah, when the first trailers come out for Rogue One, and you see the walkers, and there's maybe, I don't know, there might be regular AT-ATs, or maybe not. Maybe they're all ACTs. I didn't ACTs. I didn't watch the sequence this morning. I don't know if you all remember that. If there's other regular walkers, but
Believe there are, but
right, seems
could
right.
be
But
wrong.
you see these, and you're like, ooh, we got a new kind of walker. Oh, we're still a year out from the gorilla walkers in Last Jedi. And then you kind of zoom in. Wait, what's going on with it? Is that some kind of cool armor or a gun? No, it's a transport. It's a cargo transport. It's just functional. But it can strike, it can fight, and it's a little taller, which makes it a great target for Bistan, shooting with glee at those knees. Walkers are part of the reason we love Star Wars. That's why we have the passionate debates about what to call them. That's why every video game has a walker sequence in it. It has for a long time, and this is just one of those things. Like, hey, this is a functional thing, but it's also part of this bigger piece, and it works for me. And I even love the one. There's one that's empty. It's got an empty belly because it's not transporting something, but it's like, goddamn, get in the fight. So I love it, and I love, even though it was in the trailer, it was a great moment. And I don't want to say it was quote spoiled, but sometimes you just like to see those big moments in the theater first. But the Baze Malbus firing the rocket at one, and then the head turns back, and then the Blue Squadron shows up. It's great, and you can't have that without a transport walker, a cargo transport walker. So there you go, coming in at number 8.
Jennifer, what do you think of it?
That was a great. I'm mad about that was spoiled in the trailer, because it was such a cool moment.
Yeah.
And I was thrilled. I was like, "Whoa, a new one, a new one!" And they're funny looking.
Yeah.
They're skinny, got skinny little legs.
A little
And
gangly.
Pablo, yeah, a little gangly. Pablo Hidalgo said that everyone thought that the AT-ATs were much taller than they were. So now they made one that's actually taller than it is. Yeah, it's such a cool thing, and I'm always happy to see any form of an AT-AT, whether it's a gorilla walker or an AT-ACT.
Mm-hmm. An AT-AT. Yes. There you go.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through Wikipedia, and I had not heard that little bit of trivia before, Jennifer. That like, oh, we all thought that AT-ATs were taller than palm trees, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, nope.
Nope.
So we got to make a new one. I love that it's just got a big orange door for the cargo. There's design differences, right? But on a quick look, that's what really makes it different. It's like, well, you can tell because it's got an orange door, which is funny because that seems like such a real world safety thing. Of like, hey, everybody,
yes.
remember this is a cargo. But the Empire is famously not big on safety. No rails on walkways, no shields on TIE fighters, but the cargo walkers need that big orange safety door. I love it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. One of the first things Palpatine did was destroy space OSHA, I'm sure. Cut federal programming. All right. That is number 8, the AT-ACT, AT-ACT. But Joseph, you're back on the board here with your next pick.
So with the way this works, do I end up doing the number 1?
I think let me double check here. Yeah, I think you are. The 10 goes first. Yeah.
See, that complicates matters because I need to make sure that I don't back myself into not leaving a true number 1 choice in lots of options for it.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm just going to go with my heart. Screw it. I would like to put in at number 7 from the film Solo: A Star Wars Story, The First Light, Dryden Voss's yacht.
Okay, good. I was counting on you. I'm like, I know that. It's got to be on there. It's got to be Joseph's pick.
Man, it's a ship. It's a location. It's a party. It's a hotel in Chicago. It is so many things. It's a flying base for Crimson Dawn. I love the design from the exterior. It's just such a fun and different ship to just sort of be like, well, it's kind of a skyscraper that flies around. It's building off of design ideas from the Clone Wars with the Mandalorian yacht that appears in some great episodes with Satine. So I love the design of the outside. That's great. That's cool. But it is the inside, and it is that it's almost Death Star like of. It's a vehicle, but it's mobile. but it's also like this location where everything happens, and the design is such a cool twist on what does a crime lord's base look like.
Mm.
Jabba's, god is just sort of like unspeakable den of horrors, and looks like, yay, it's always a party, probably never clean, sleep where you drop.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hody Snitkin, sleep where you drop.
Yep.
It's fine. Monomon fluids all over the floor. Maybe put some straw on it. Who cares? And in contrast to that, to have this picture that Solo is interested in, that crime can look really legitimate. It's legitimized by the Empire. It's legitimized by the Empire encouraging the
Mhm.
crime bosses to grift. And we see that with, it isn't a bunch of, angry, drunk bounty hunters partying. It's the elite. It's Imperials rubbing noses with the crime boss. And so the place needs to look elegant. So it's got this Frank Lloyd Wright, mid-century modern. Frank Lloyd
Mm.
Wright is more than just mid-century modern, but I think it really does get into that
Mhm.
Palm Springs design of everything's better with some sort of golden circle you can see through on top of booths and in parts
Yeah.
of walls. Everything's better with a golden circle you can see through. So I love the design of it. It is just like physically beautiful. If I just saw the set and didn't know who owned it or what was going to happen there, I'd be like, beautiful set. But I love it even more that it reflects the violence and the crime and the cruelty to everyday people masquerading behind this veneer of respectful design in the halls of power. It's so great.
Mm.
I could listen to you talk about the First Light for an entire episode. Maybe we'll do that. Joseph Scrimshaw discusses the First Light. I would love to hear it. I love all the things you're saying. It's a great spot. I really do like the character of Dryden Voss. If there's more storytelling with him out there to be had, I'm interested. And I really love what you're describing here. Of this is a movie about Han finding or thinking this is who I want to be all the way through it, right? In in
Mm-hmm.
in in, in opposition of what maybe he should be or could be and will be. So literally going up this elevator to what he thinks is higher class, the elite status.
Mm-hmm.
It works on so many levels, but also just a functional, cool Star Wars level. The ship that looks like a knife. I like that Dryden
Mm-hmm.
kind of has those blades that he fights with. This kind of looks like it. It's weird, like it's like flying up, and you're like, "What the hell is that?" And exactly described a Palm Springs hotel on the go. Like what a great way to look at it. So it's yeah, and it's just a fun setting, and all the things going on there, all the characters you love, and the great humor, and the chewy double fist and drinks, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
there. It's all there. It's home, Jen, to a bigger sequence we love. So this is a great choice.
It's a fantastic choice. When I remember when we saw this on screen for the first time, it felt so fresh and so right for this story and for Star Wars. It was really exciting to see what this kind of opulence would look like and how
Mm,
scary it would be. We've talked about it before, like, and I've said, well, I'd rather be on Jabba's sail barge because at least I know when someone's going to shank me.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you know, like, I don't
Yeah.
know, it could happen at any moment, right? It's like
mhm,
it's just everything. It's so gilded and like and just like ostentatious and there's actually this place in San Diego and I wish I could remember where it was. It looks very much like Dryden Voss's yacht. It's got a very art deco vibe to it.
mhm,
Um
Mm-hmm.
which I just think is really, how do you make Solo in general has to feel kind of retro, right?
mm,
This feels very retro, and
mm,
yet very sophisticated. It's so well done. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. And I love the primarily black and gold
Hmm.
color design. And when I see those color designs other places, I'm like, wow, it's like I'm on the first light.
For
And
sure.
we Ken and I stayed in a couple of hotels in Chicago in
Right.
2019 for the Star Wars celebration. But the second one we stayed in, which I feel safe. There's no reason we can't say the name of the hotel, right, Ken?
Yeah. I'm not
Anyway,
heading back there anytime soon.
no, me neither. It's called the Gwen,
Yeah.
and
The Gwen.
it was older. It was, I have no idea when it was built, but probably maybe 30s, 40s. 20s. I don't know. I can't remember. I took a picture of the plaque, but the bar in particular looked like Crimson Dawn, and it was like, this is perfection. It was just a year after Solo had come out. I wish we could have spent even more time in that bar.
Yeah, no, you and I were put up at a hotel that was cool, but it had the like. Literally, they said you don't want to. We checked in. They're like, you don't want to go to another place. We're the cool place. You know, they had like buy your food here and everything, and it was great. But then it was like a modern open concept bathroom that I was like, Joseph and I were like, yeah, you know, we're friends. But
how much eye contact do you want to make?
So we switched, and to compare the Gwen to the First Light is such a good idea, Joseph, because we walk in and like we check in, they're like, "Do you guys want water?" We're like, "Nah, we're good." Oh well, and they had a plate of water handed out. And I felt like Chewie. I'll take 2 waters. It was great. Got 2, and the bathroom door was completely sealed. It was like a separate room within a room. It was great.
Separate room is so classy.
Oh, that's good.
So I felt like I was in Star Wars. So good pull on that.
Oh my gosh.
But it did have a doorman. I had to grease a lot to get cabs to even show up. One of those things. All right. First Light, number 7. Great choice. Great choice. We will do that entire episode about the First Light. Maybe Star Wars ranked things we love inside the First Light. But Jen, not bad. Jen, we're looking for you at our number 6 spot.
Okay. I have one that I'm going to save. It's got to be. All right. I'm going to save it. It. It deserves to be higher on the list. So I'm going to choose for my number 6th pick, the Swoop Bike. Enfys Nest, Cloud Riders. Yes. The Swoop Bike in Solo, for me, in Return of the Jedi, the speeder bikes were always my favorite sequence. I always was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's what the future is going to be like. Well, now we're in the future, my future. Now again, I'm like, ooh, those speeder bikes are so cool. That's what the future is going to be like, right? It takes it to a whole new level. It's incredibly fast. I looked it up. It's basically like an engine with a seat is how they describe it.
Yeah.
It is terrifying. It goes really, really fast. Swoop racing is apparently a sport. They are difficult to control because they are so overpowered, which I think is such a great detail and really speaks to the characters that ride them. Well, you can see it.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. It's just a sweet ride that I would never dare get on. That's my pick.
Oh yeah, no. I don't even.
Can you imagine?
I don't even ride bicycles anymore. What do you think?
I would love to get on it.
You would love to get on it?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh boy.
I think for me as a kid, like I absolutely loved the speeder bike sequence in Return of the Jedi, but it gave me anxiety because like I want to do that, but I think I'd hit a tree. And then I played the video game and I hit trees. And I think you see the swoop bike in open space and be like, I think I could ride that and manage not to hit that one giant train. I think I could do that.
Oh my gosh.
Lovely. No, Jen, this was on my list. Specifically Enfys Nest Swoop Bike, but the entire Cloud Rider gang, and again, talk about that sequence, going to the convey sequence and everything, and some of my favorite music from John Powell is based around the Cloud Riders. But yeah, just the design. It's something, and I know even the Cloud Riders goes back to old comics, and it's pulling from the past and putting something right here in our Star Wars present at the time in 2018. And it stands the test of time. Enfys Nest, we can go on and on about how much we love the character and the design of Enfys Nest, but that includes the swoop bike. It's still on display here in my house. Even if I start to pack up and get rid of some Star Wars stuff to clear space and whatever, that ain't going anywhere. Swoop bike, you can bury me with it. I love it, Jen. It's just so Star Warsy, that magic quality. Great choice.
Yeah, I love how much it matches Enfys. It matches her armor really well, and all of the Cloud Riders' armor. I love also just how like stripped down it is. That the like you said, it's an engine that you kind of sit on, and then just such a long naked pole.
Yes,
naked poles. Like it looks so flimsy. Like I think that's what makes it look cool. That hey, if you lightly bump into something, the entire thing's going to explode. There's nothing, protecting you, And then that really aggressive. Looks like there's a Luke's T-16 Skyhopper toy
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
punctured on the nose of it. Those familiar Star Wars sort of angles and energy, of the Skyhopper and of the Imperial shuttles, give it this like great energy that's a little bit different from the original speeder bikes and other swoop bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Well said.
Absolutely love it. Yes.
375 miles per hour. That's how fast it can go. See, that's why I would never get on it. 375 miles per hour? No, thank you.
Yeah, I think I need a
Ooh.
helmet.
I once, I'm a good driver, whatever. A couple accidents, not my fault. But I went for a while. I had an old, like a 2002 Ford Mustang that the top could go down. After a car accident. A friend gave me this car. Blah blah blah. Old man story. I one day took it on the freeway. It's like I've lived in LA 20 plus years. Let me take the top down and head down the 101. Holy bleep! I need to get off. Like, like nope, not for me, not for me. Anyways,
No.
great choice. Great choice at number 6. All right, pressure's on at number 5. Oh, the pressure's on at number 5 because something
Oh boy.
something's
boy.
got to be higher. But then if it's off, okay. But there's that. Oh bleep, there's that. Okay, I am going to Orson Krennic's shuttle.
Ooh.
Oof. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Yep. Drafting him there. It is, the Imperial shuttles, all classes, are still some of my favorite designs in Star Wars. This is ode to the Lambda class. This is ode to the shuttle Tidarium. But man, to come with this Delta class T3C shuttle and have it, the all black goth design, the Death Troopers inside, over far-reaching, anxiety-ridden Krennic, just looking for his seat a couple rows forward in power. Just wants to move forward, and they give him this intimidating ship. It is, we have, again, talk about so Star Wars and the designs, but even just looking at some of the photos, it's got that stealth, B-1 bomber angles, the harsh angles, you're not quite sure where the flight deck and cockpit might actually be, and it almost looks like something like the updated the fifth Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book, Mostly Harmless. Like the guide gets updated, little corporate takeover, and like the Hitchhiker's Guide becomes like a weird black bird that it's really different design while also being exactly what you think a high-ranking officer's shuttle would have. So, been a big fan of it. I love the character of Orson Krennic, which is weird to say, but Ben Mendelsohn just brings so much life to that character, so much to try to understand, so much to hate, so much to just enjoy as a villain in Star Wars. And you got to give a villain a good ship. And his isn't even really like, he doesn't fly it. He just sits in it and stews. But that's what he needs. So Krennic's Imperial Shuttle, the Delta class T3C, on my list here at number 5.
I think that's a great choice. I love thinking about what all is in there, including a Death Trooper break room, probably. That thing's got to carry some Death Troopers too.
Yeah.
This one, I think this is such a great pick because it was also like from that era when, hey, Star Wars is booting up again, and we've got the sequel trilogy where we've got the task of like, what are evolutions of Imperial ships, including shuttles? And we talked a lot about Kylo Ren's command shuttle.
Right.
And then you've got this other challenge in Rogue One. Like, well, we don't want to. He could have just been flying around in a Lambda class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's give him something else. Let's make it match the Death Troopers. He's in kind of a different role than other Imperials we've seen, but it's got to fit in. And I think it's just such a great job of that challenge that the designers had around the same time of let's make a contemporary of the Lambda and let's make an evolution of the Lambda. And I love how just aggressively geometric this is. It looks cool in flight, but I like it even more landed. When it's landed, it looks like somebody put wings on the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas. It just looks
Absolutely.
like a space pyramid,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The rates aren't as cheap, but it's like it.
It's very geometric. It reminds me of you guys won't know this. They're something called magnetiles, which kids love playing with. My kids loved them, and they're basically like long triangles and squares, and they have magnets that help them stick together. And it just looks like somebody just was like, wah, wah, "There's the wings," right? It's such a cool dramatic design, which I think
Yes.
fits Orson Krennic so well. Like it brings this drama with how it opens up, these extra long wings, which are bat-like, as we've talked about. And I just
Mhm.
love the shot of when it arrives at Darth Vader's fortress.
Mm.
That shot is just like, ooh, chef's kiss. That was one of my favorites in Rogue One. I was like, ooh, we're going. What's gonna happen? Not good for Krennic, but yeah, a lot of fun to
Mm-mm.
watch.
Yeah. Yeah. And you made me realize that because I think I just love shuttles for commanders, Joseph. 'Cause, yeah, Kylo Ren's got his own like RV. Krennic's got his own
Yeah.
RV. I just kind of like
Yeah.
that there. There you go. All right, so that we are into the top five. We're in top five. He said, like the old radio man, he still is. But Joseph, we're at year number 4.
This might be this is among the more difficult choices for me, because now what I'm weighing is what plenty of options for number 1, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
also weighing not raining on either of your parades, because there's one I really
Mm.
like that I think would
Mm.
be taking from
No.
Jennifer.
Oh
There's one I
no.
really like that I think would be taking from Ken.
You
And
know,
there's
maybe.
one, and then there's 2 options for number 1.
Mm,
Oh man.
mm,
Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I'm just gonna do this, and I apologize in advance because I got to follow my heart. I'm so sorry.
do that.
But I'm gonna go to the M68 Land Speeder. Sorry, Jennifer. I knew I was taking it from you, and I did it anyway. I'm a monster. I'm sorry. I'm
No.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm so
Ah.
sorry.
Oh
Tell
man.
you what. Instead of me why don't you go first about why you like it?
No. No. You go first.
No, you
It's
did this. You go for it.
Yeah, it's just it's so well designed to be like, if Luke's land speeder that we meet is the original, and we see some other variants even in the first Star Wars film,
Mm-hmm.
if that's a sensible 4-door sedan that
Mm-hmm.
Luke's like, oh my god, give me a sensible 4-door sedan and I'll feel like the most free guy in the world. This is a Corvette. I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's the Star Wars design version of a Corvette, not the actual
Mm-hmm.
Corvettes that fly in space. I just again, I love that it's just a brick of beautiful blue with kitted out with hot rod sensibilities. It makes so much sense for
Mm-hmm.
Luke's land speeder in comparison to Han's land speeder tells us everything about these characters. The fact that he stole it uh, to get a fancier ride, both for himself and to impress Kira. And then I think the chase is great, and I think the contrast with the other speeder in there is great too. So yeah, I love it, and the blue makes me very happy.
Yeah, and poking
Mhm.
around this morning, and Jen, I want you to close with your thoughts here, but poking around this morning, it loosely based on the Ford Falcon design. And I just
Oh.
was like, oh, let me look that up. What Joseph's talking here. And yeah, and it's like, oh God, it's spot on, and it's such a wonderful, such a wonderful George thing, right? It's
Yes.
just you
Hmm.
can't
Mhm.
move past that, and that showing up, whether it's the prequels and Anakin's speeder that he pops in at one point or other things, the fact that George's love of cars and racing and surviving a horrible crash still shows up a lot in Star Wars. That it's part
Hmm.
of us as fans and appreciators and then creators in the space who are putting these movies and shows together who are like, yeah, but that's not just an aesthetic, but it's a frame of mind we need to put into Star Wars.
Hmm.
This absolutely represents that. It was on my list. You half stole it from me, but you yanked it away from Jen. I even like the truck speeder. Jen, feel free to rank that one too. I just everything about that sequence works for me, and I just love. There's something just so silly and youthful and naive of him and Kira popping in, and I got the this speeder, and where are we gonna go to the stars? Like I'm in on it. I'm in on it. I love this movie.
Hmm.
I love Solo Star Wars story, and this is part of that love. So great choice. But Jen, take us home.
I would have actually put this at number 1 because of, like you said, Ken, the roots going back. It just felt so George Lucas inspired. The
Mm-hmm.
whole sequence, the music. I think it's Meet Han or the Corellian. She's one of
Mm-hmm.
those. So thrilling. And again, how do you make something in fantasy feel retro?
Mhm.
This is it. It looks like something he would be able to modify, to work on, customize, right? It has that open air style, which is very sporty. It's cool. So, like you said, he could impress people with it.
Mhm.
Um, goes the speed of 140 miles per hour, civilian craft.
Mhm.
Is that that's
Um,
manageable for you, Jen? That's manageable, right?
I
Cool.
could do that.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a Mazda Miata.
Oh,
I
okay.
could do it.
Again,
It's got a windshield.
yeah, I couldn't do 110 in a Mustang, but I'll follow you on this one. I'll be trailing.
Yeah, I just love it. And I even said somewhere that it's marketed to a youth audience. There
Mhm.
again, American graffiti right there in the DNA of this land speeder. It's my
Mhm.
number one.
Okay.
Joseph's number four.
You know,
It maybe should have been.
I didn't have a number.
I was weighing.
No.
Yeah, looking at it even closer. You know what's so cool about the design is that I love the contrast that it's not the body's chunky. You know,
Mhm.
you could go, let's make it streamlined. Let's make it look like it's the fastest land speeder possible with fins and everything. I love that it's chunky, and then it has all these just direct, straight up hot rod stuff, like the engine popping out of the core, the exposed sides, the rail that seems to serve no purpose above the seats except to be able to grab it and hop in real cool. Like it seems like the bar is there
Mhm.
just so you can look cool when you get into the ship.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. And then yeah, narratively, like it's the introduction to Han. It's the we talked about a lot with Solo, but like the literal spark of light in the darkness is he
Yeah.
hot wires a thing that can let him bleep
Mhm.
and go fast is so
Mhm.
good.
Mhm.
Mm,
Sparkle light in the
mm.
dark. I just goddamn love themes in Star Wars, and when you highlight so wonderful things like that, it's just, this wasn't going to be number one on my personal list, and you both have made me feel like guilty for even thinking that it wasn't number one. We got some choices.
Ah,
All right, great choice. There's so much
oh
to it. Han
shoot.
Solo's land speeder. Is this an M68? Yes, it is. But Jen, a little pressure on you.
Gosh.
Number three overall,
Oh,
but your final pick of the day.
gosh dang it. Okay, I have one. It's
Mm-hmm.
all right. I'm gonna it's not beloved, but I'll take it. All right. And the reason, okay, let's just go for it.
Mhm.
I'm going to say the AT Holler
Ooh.
Y45.
Love it.
Did I did I get it? Did I get one from you?
It was on my list. I didn't know where it's going to fall or if I needed to use it, but yes, it's on my list.
Oh, I finally stole one. All right. So sorry, Ken. So speaking of stolen, it was stolen by Tobias's crew and piloted by
Mhm.
Rio Durant. I love that it's like a Swiss Army knife, right? Because it's like
Mhm.
it very much toy-like with the arms that rotate up.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that I could see Kenner would have made a toy
Mm.
as a, and can you
Mhm.
imagine a kid's and inevitably maybe it would break off, the wings would break off, and it would be disastrous. But I just think it's practical, it's strong, it gets the job done, and it has an atmospheric speed of 75 miles per hour, and there are
Mm.
no weapons. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a fun one, and it's of the Empire. Again, one of my
Of the
choices.
Empire. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
all
No,
I got.
no weapons.
And
No, that's
It's
a
great.
great choice. This is a wonderful design. At the risk of repeating things we've just discussed before, but just it's functional. It isn't a fighter ship. It isn't. It's just this. But they need it, and they need it, and it's all part of this again sequence we keep going back to the conveyance train sequence. But I love how it's used, and it's also home to one of my favorite little moments in Solo, which is Han and Chewie really kind of meeting for the first time, and the music playing, the
mm,
great John Powell score behind that with flying. And then, the shower scene as well, which is hilarious in its own way. It fits so well into the world. I'm sure I know I saw some animes. It's shown up in other spots, right? Or it could. But that's the thing. This could continue to show up in different versions of it.
Mhm.
They kind of established this. It's an AT hauler. So the Empire, it's functional. So it's going to show up anywhere else. And I like that as well, that it isn't specific. Where I love the First Light being its unique, its own
mm,
unique kind of ship inside this world. Even though there might be other classes and those on sale that you can get if you're original Elite, but you know what I mean. It's specific. This is generic in the most wonderful ways, meaning it can show up anywhere, and it's it's a great design. I could live there. I think I could live there in my dream of getting a van that I keep mentioning and just living in the forest. This might be the thing you take around. You don't need the first light. You got a shower in this. You're good. You're good.
Got a shower, you got a walkway. I
Mm-hmm.
love the walkway. I mean, I love the whole thing because it is so the function drives the design of
Mm-hmm.
this one. Of like, it still looks of the Empire. It still looks mean.
Mm-hmm.
When it's arms, wings rotate up for landing and all that. But everything it looks like it's a flying dock. And I love that walkway is like real practical for like, yeah, guiding all of the things that the AT hauler is hauling. But it serves that purpose of being also a great place to look out and stare ahead at your destiny. It's like a great observation deck. And in contrast to First Light, I think Solo is such a film about class, and
Mm.
the AT hauler is of Han Solo's background, of Corellia, of
Mm-hmm.
like actual humans doing real physical
Mm-hmm.
important work in such contrast to what's going on the First Light.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. No, great way. And you're right. It has a balcony. What else do you need?
Balcony. Great
What else
place
do
for
you need?
cocktails right there.
Yeah. Yeah. You could take your cocktail photos there from the balcony. You can do it all there. Love it. Jen, great choice. Great choices today, Jen. You killed it. You killed it. You killed it
Trying.
like the Empire did Rio Durant. Okay,
Oh
moving on to number
no!
two. Number two. Joseph knew he might accidentally steal this one from me. Not maybe intentionally. I don't know. We can't trust anymore, Joseph, after the speeder.
Mm-mm.
But my number two
Mm.
is the moment you suggested this last week of, hey, let's just do this. Anytime someone mentions this era, I am one of those blowhards that says, let me tell you about the U-Wing. So I'm going in
Mm.
on the U-Wing. I absolutely love it on a lot of levels we've discussed before. I don't want to keep repeating things, but it is this functional ship. It is it is fully weaponized, ready for assault, but it's also got some transportation skills to it. Transportation skills. It helps the rebels get around. It's not fancy, and I absolutely fell in love with the design because of what I said up top. Of we got Force Awakens, love it. Here we go. X-wings, Tie fighters, definitely new ships, but different kind of designs. Kylo Ren's command shuttle, which apparently I love more than anything. This shows up, and I remember like, ooh, we have a new ship. We have a new alphabet wing. We have that. That's cool. And then you have that like, okay, but where was that during the Battle of Yavin? Why didn't we see it other than the practical, logistical, real life reasons of why we didn't see it in 1977? And starting my relationship with the U-wing there, it just you can come up with these wonderful reasons why. Wow, you wouldn't want this slow, clunky ship attacking the Death Star. You don't need troops on the ground, so it's over there doing its thing. So you can get behind that, and then it just looks like a rebel ship because it's kind of beautiful and ugly all at the same time. It would look like it was kit bashed, both in the production design offices and by the rebellion. And it becomes a good home for our heroes as they move around the galaxy. And I'm excited to see more of it in Andor season 2 at the time of this recording. That's still on our horizon. I love the toys. I love the Lego version. I just saw this right away and thought, as Rogue One's about to come out, this is Star Wars. It's 2016. This got me excited for everything coming forward, both in that movie and this era of we've got new designs that felt like they've always been there. The U-wing is that for me.
That
Jennifer?
is I just was shocked. I just discovered that they have a U-wing toy that has fires Nerf darts, which is really fun. It's $88. $88. What the heck?
That is either cheap or too much, depending on what hour the tariffs were in.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, is this affected by that? This was on my list. I had it as a backup. It's a really, I like that it's a little menacing, but it's for our people, right? It's for the Rebel Alliance. That made me so happy. I was like, yay, we can be badass too. Some of the specs. The length of 82 feet with S-fuels forward, can hold a crew of 2 plus 8 passengers, atmospheric speed of 590 miles per hour, 2 laser cannons, and other specs that I'm not going to go into because it's too complicated. Heavy repulsory craft. You get the point. It's cool. It's cool.
It's
Hmm.
cool, man. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to steal this, and I wanted to hold open the possibility that it could be number one, because I think it
Mm.
is. um I love it. It's high up there for my favorites. I have my personal favorites, but like, I feel like it is maybe the best designed ship of the modern era,
Yes,
just in terms of
I
Wow.
the
really think that.
quality of the
Wow.
design, the challenge of the design to go, "Hey, everything the rebels stand for. Of their ships are grungy. They're diverse. They're different from the Empire ships, but we're looking at the X-wing, the Y-wing. We're looking at that 70s kit bashed aesthetic, but we need a troop transport."
Mm-hmm.
uh, to take that hot rod kit bash mentality of the X-wing and the Y-wing and make something that fits in perfectly when it is a transport. It's a bus. Um, the idea of let's take the whole moving wings thing, and instead of going up and down, to spread back to go faster, to fold back to go faster, is so cool. The big chunky engines, I love that. And then I love that it does have like this little bit of relationship to the Republic gunship, with the opening in the belly, and the Bistan
Mm-hmm.
firing out of it. Yeah, it's just, and it's one that's it's one that I feel like has exploded out of Rogue One to be included everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
in so many different places. It's just like, it's so a part of just like the visual vocabulary of Star Wars so quickly.
It really is a clunky elegance to it, Jen, that you touch
Mm.
upon. Of like, finally, we got one for the rebels. They got their own kind of ship with wings that move, and goes from bird to eagle. Regular bird,
Hmm.
fancy bird. If that's a
Oh
thing,
my
it's a thing.
gosh.
I
Do
know
you know how
bird
much
law,
it
not birds. Okay, yeah.
Do you know how much it costs? The Lego version of this toy? $340. $340. That means that there's serious demand. People want
Yes,
this thing.
they
It's
do.
really cool looking in
Yeah.
Lego form.
That's great. No, it is. Love
Hmm.
the U-wing. Love the U-wing, but we're not done yet. One final pick left here. Here we go, Joseph. Take us home. Your final pick, our final pick of the day, our number one choice for our favorite vehicles in Rogue One and Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Oh my, this is very difficult, but I feel that there's only one left that
Hmm.
also earns the honor of number one, in my opinion, and that is Lando's Millennium Falcon. Um,
Okay. All right. Yep. Yep.
did you think I was going somewhere else, Jennifer?
I didn't know. I didn't know. I don't
Um,
know. But this is a great pick. This
okay, good.
deserves to
Hmm.
be number one.
Good,
Yes.
good, good.
Yes.
Okay, good,
Yes.
good, good,
Yes.
good, good. There's a little bit
Yes.
of an internet freeze for a second there, so it's like, oh no,
Yep.
Jennifer's not answering. She's really upset with my choice. But that was my perception based on the internet. Uh, no, I really, I feel like, obviously, we've said many things about the Millennium Falcon, about its importance, particularly as we meet it, and how much it reflects Han, of this banged up old ship that still got it where it counts. Um, into sort of manage to redesign that into something that looks like it would be a classy ship for Lando to fly around in, is a
Hmm.
great design challenge. And also, I just saw this as, I love that it's the Falcon, and I love that Han takes something. He wants to get higher class in terms of his respect and the amount of money and his life freedom, but not in his design aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love that he trashes it and goes, now it's a good ship. Um, but even if it wasn't
Oh.
the Falcon, which I love that it
Yep.
is, I would love
Yep.
this as just a design of a different
Hmm.
YT-1300.
Hmm.
Um, the blue, the more pristine white, with all of the blue highlights, gorgeous.
Mm.
How much putting the escape pod, not escape pod, the thing in the mandible notch,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
how much that changes the entire ship design so much, is one of those
Yeah.
just amazing little details. And then the
Mm.
inside, I mean, come on, all the joy of the Millennium Falcon with a wet bar,
Mm. Mm.
perfection, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sit.
I think it's enough of a different ship to really deserve to be number one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's definitely the Falcon, but we just don't really set ground rules here too much. But I was wondering if this would happen, and what a fun thing that as many times as we can list the Falcon, we might do it. Like I'm surprised it wasn't number
Right.
one in Revenge of the Sith. Like it counts. It would have been there. But more than just showing up or being in the background and some of those things, this I think is the right choice. It's beautiful and it's different. And
Hmm.
we got in Chicago. We got to spend time inside of it, thanks to the Belgium wing of the
Ooh.
501st. They had that big display going on, and it was I always talk about, hey, this is where I want to live. I want to live there, and I love Hans, my guy. I don't know if I want to live in Hans Falcon. I want to live in this
Mm.
one, not just for the aesthetic and even the cleanliness, but just it seems like there's more to do. Like Lando's like,
Hmm.
this is where I am. This is who I am. It's Han as well. I love the Falcon as we get to know it. The design and it just also makes me think of the quite frankly silly debate that popped up when this
Hmm.
design or the first showed up, and the Falcon doesn't look like that. Let's have some imagination in watching
Hmm.
these stories. And I just remember poor Pablo trying to have to fight that and realize why am I on Twitter? Uh, and so to get through all that and to get to this and it's not just the design. It's so part of the story. What happens to the Falcon from this to the one we know and love is so part of the story. It's so part of what you're saying. Themes abound all through this wonderfully designed, elegant Millennium Falcon. Jen, it's
Hmm.
Lando's pride and joy, and it's our number one.
The Millennium Falcon is a character, right? It is a character, and when she appeared in this film, it was a glow up, right? Like I didn't recognize her. I'm like, what the heck? Like this is fancy. I would be scared. There's just so much white in it, but like look at the like. Let me show you the closet if we remember the scene.
Of
Oh,
The
the cape
course.
closet.
closet. Yes.
Right? Like that alone, I just thought was like, of course Lando would have a cape closet. Of course everything is pristine and white. And when you go to like some people's house and they have like their dining room where it's like so perfect, like you can't sit there because you're gonna get everything dirty. I just love it. It's
Mm.
such a great detail. This deserves to be number one. I don't know why I didn't think of it, but this is right.
I love that the whole ship is like it's like a Playboy's basement.
That's
Like it's got,
Mhm.
yes. Yes,
like
that's it.
the dessert table is like having like I've got the Terminator 2 pinball game from
Mhm.
1991 in here,
Yeah.
and the
It's
wet
Lando
bar
after dark. Yeah.
and yeah, the conversation pit vibes. But
Oh
Yes.
yeah. The
yeah.
that cushion, that couch, the round couch. Yeah, that's a party entertainer.
Hmm.
Like Hugh Hefner's mansion
Yeah.
in the 1970s or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Playboy Mansion. That's totally what it is. Oh my gosh.
And I am all for the idea that this model was built to perform, but
Mm.
is built with flexibility. So it could be a hard working ship, or it could be a fancy place for entertaining. And I love the idea that Lando got his hands on it and he fancied it up. And Jennifer, when you said glow up, I pictured Lando doing a TikTok video where like the basic Falcon is behind him, and then he swoops his cape past the camera, and you cut, and now it's glow up Falcon, all beautiful and perfect.
Lando, get ready with me. All right, we're in the cape closet.
Cape swoop,
Oh my gosh,
beautiful
you
ship.
guys, this makes me want to have a Lando show movie. What's
Yeah.
going on with that? Are we going to see the
Yeah.
Falcon like this
Uh,
again?
I would if it was a 2 hour movie of Donald Glover just remodeling the Falcon. I'd be on board. Just do the glow up, Lando, the glow up, the
Yeah.
Falcon glow ups.
Oh man.
That's great. It's great. We can talk for a while on it. It's wonderful. I think it's more than just. It's not a. It's like I said in this position. It is right. It's not just a funny little thing of let's keep talking about the Falcon. It is a different ship. It is, and
Hmm.
that's part of the
Mhm.
point. And it's wonderful. And it's beautiful. And sorry, Lando, it ain't yours anymore. It
Hmm.
ain't more. All right. We do like to always sometimes share things that are close. Not as many maybe left behind for me. Um, the one I wanted to put, it's kind of a forgotten design. I really do like the Thai Brute, which is
Hmm.
from Solo as well. In the discussion of all the different ties and the cool ties, and the Tie Striker I think's a better design, but just yeah, the Thai Brute being this like bloated bouncer of a TIE fighter. It's the TIE RB Heavy Starfighter, nicknamed the TIE Brute. Heavier armor, firepower, pivoting twin laser, and it's got a droid integrated into it. It's just part of that tiny little sequence. I didn't need much more of the Empire in the movie, but love the TIE Brute.
The TIE RB. The
The
TIE
TIE
Rose.
RB. The TIE RB. Jen, any close calls for you?
I love our list. It feels right. I found myself not liking a lot of the Rogue Ones. Not that they're not cool, but in my research, I was like, this feels too terrifying, and it like reminds me of the horrors of our world. Where I just was like,
Mm,
I don't want to talk about that. That just makes me sad.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about the ATSD, but
Oh
that's
yeah,
an OT
it's
vehicle.
it's
It
there.
will
It's
mhm.
there.
always, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a great appearance, though. I was so excited when I saw that in the teaser or trailer, whatever it was. But yeah,
absolutely.
that was it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the ADDT Walker from
Mm.
Solo on the Minbon
Mhm.
is part of the Walker things there as well. Few for you, Joseph. There.
Yeah, shout out to the profundity,
Yeah,
Radiss's
Yes.
ship
yeah.
in. I think that that could have been closer to the home one, and I
Mm-hmm.
like that it is pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
Not it's still overall a big bubble, but not as bubbly as home one, and that
Yeah,
really long sort of wing beneath it is
yeah.
really cool looking. Um, Being cute, the ghost
Yep, yeah, yeah.
is
Mm.
Technically, you could say the
is
ghost. Yep.
a great ship in Rogue One.
Yeah.
They started in obviously in other places, but Rebels in particular. But the Hammerhead Corvette
Mm.
is up there, not just in design. The Hammerhead is cool, but also that's for me one of the greatest ship vehicle space sequences in Star Wars. Um,
Yeah.
Oof,
yeah,
if the U-wing had been off the board, I might have gone with a hammerhead. Again, there's that, profundity is one of my favorites. We'll get to some of the bigger ships in Star Wars too, because we just have fun talking about it. But that sequence, Joseph, I just go back to the first time I saw it, my mouth dropping for like 2 minutes, and I actually verbalized, mumbled to myself, sitting next to my old pal Jeremy Johns. I can't believe I've seen this on screen. A Star Destroyer being pushed into a Star Destroyer, and the music and everything. It's one of my favorite moments in Star Wars, and it's all to the Hammerhead Corvette from Star Wars Rebels. So this.
it's
Mm.
so creative both from Radis
Mm-hmm.
and from the filmmakers, right? The easy way would be like Radis knows this, secret part of the ship to hit
Yeah.
with, you know,
Yeah.
lasers and repeat Return of the Jedi and have a ship crash into like
Mm.
let's push it
Yeah.
physically. It's
Yeah.
so cool. My only other one is from Solo, and this is one that I thought that would be on your list, Ken. Is the CPH patrol speeder, the cop bike
Yeah.
Oh
on
yeah.
Corellia, which I really like because it feels like, in terms of speeder design, it takes sort of a backwards reference from Ray's speeder in that it's just
Mm-hmm.
like much bigger and chunkier.
Yeah.
It looks more like a cop bike, like a large bike to be like,
Yeah.
we don't want to crash. Oh, we crashed.
Yeah.
It's a cool design, and I
It's great.
love seeing the kind of Imperials as cops and the joke of
Mm-hmm.
CPH of California Pacific Highway Patrol
Yeah.
Speeder.
Yeah, no, absolutely. To all you Chips fans out there. Yeah, I do
Oh
love it. Yeah, it's a close call as well. There was less choices overall in these two
hmm
films, you'd think, but that's because I
yeah.
really do love so many of them. It was hard to choose. So that's
hmm
it for me in terms of choices, Jen. Unless you got any others, we'll wrap it up here.
No, that's it. The
Mm,
patrol speeder looks like one of the a staple gun,
it
right?
does.
Looks like a staple.
It does.
It really does.
Stole it
Really
Uh,
from Milton. Yep.
It does. It does. It does. Fine. I'm
it's
gonna
a
burn the
good
place down.
list.
All right, everybody. This is what we do. This is what we do. We rank things in Star Wars. But hey, if you're listening on the podcast side, reach out on social media. Let us know some of your choices. And if you agree with some of ours, you might disagree. You're probably going to disagree with some of ours. But instead of disagreeing, share your choices because this is part of the fun. And if you're on YouTube, do that in the comments as well. You can find us on social media, especially on Blue Sky at ForceCenter Pod. We have merch shops, tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter, Fourth Wall Shop, link down below for that. Podcast itself is available in a lot of spots. Remember, audio only. Every Sunday we re-release Data we are re-releasing our Databank Brawl episodes that aired from 2016 to 2020. A lot of fun going down that memory lane, both as Star Wars fans, but as ForceCenter as well, going down our own journey with the franchise. You can support us directly on Patreon if you like at patreon.com/ForceCenter. And you can follow me at Ken Knapsack or my website, kennapsack.com, for things I'm doing. Jen, where can they find and follow you?
You can find me on Instagram at Jennifer Landa or TikTok at Jennifer Landa 1138.
There you go. Joseph, a lot going on still with your film. If you have
Mhm.
information on that, your blog, where can that be found?
Yeah, you can find all of the info on the stuff I'm doing on my website, josephscrimshaw.com. There's a link to my blog, Finish Your Monsters. This week I wrote about going to see Temple of Doom in person and really enjoying it, and making me think about why we like specific kinds of art, even if we don't think they're perfect. So I really enjoyed writing that. If you want to check it out, you can go to my website, josephscrimshaw.com.
You can. All right, that is it. We'll see you next time, friends. Star Wars has been ranked.